Agriculture industry takes a big step forward thanks to a new 88-acre seed technology facility in Malta. 23 News reporter Alyssa Rima toured Sygenta Seeds Research and Development Center to learn how it will directly impact farmers.
Connecting technology with customers is the goal of the center in Malta. The purpose is to make sure farmers know exactly what they're getting while making sure it will fulfill their needs.
I have the honor of doing this.
88 acres, 100,000 square feet. That's the size of Malta's new Sygenta Seeds Research and Development Innovation Center. The customer service-based facility will help scientists directly interact with farmers,
so that they can see the new products that we're developing, and we can make sure that the products that we are developing fit their needs.
Syngenta CEO Eric Fierwald says having the facility in northern Illinois will help them create seeds that are resilient to all types of weather. It also allows tours, which Fierwald says lets people see the hard work Syngenta does.
Show them that we're developing seed products that enable more resilience to things like drought and other weather extremes.
Global head of strategy David Hollenreich grew up on a farm, so he knows firsthand the challenges of growing crops.
Helping them sustainably grow their crop in a way that can be transformative and lead to higher yields and higher productivity is all about what we do.
Friday's grand opening brought people of all ages and students from the Chicago School of Agriculture Science who learned something new about the industry. Liz Hunt, who leads the company's sustainable and responsible business area, says that's her favorite part.
Hands-on experience, it makes such a big difference. You remember things so much better. You get to know the people who are doing the work.
Seeing them make those connections is extremely impactful. As a teacher, it motivates me even further.
Fierwald says Malta was the perfect location for the Seed Technology Center because it has the best soil, lots of high-end technology available, and it's located close to its customers.
Very cool, especially with the amount of crazy weather we get here in the state line, right? The center doesn't only help develop the best of seeds, it also dissects plant DNA, increases crop yields using virtual reality to see plant proteins closely, and tests pests to see what diseases they spread.